Hello, thank you for being here. We're going to start with the City Beauty Lip Oil. We're going to be using the Nightmare palette again today. I love it already, and I've only used it twice, one look each eye, but today we're going to use the other 12 shades. And so we're going to use these two columns on this eye and these two columns on this eye. So they're going to be kind of monochromatic-ish kind of looking. And then after this, we can say we have used this entire palette, and then we will hop around and do other stuff. And so I am excited. So we're going to prime the, we're going to do our inner rims and lower lash line, then prime the eye. And as we do that, we're going to do the intro. These are both Matte Color Excess gel pencil eyeliners. This one is Stay the Night. We're going to put this on inner rims, upper and lower, and this one is Strawberry Milk that we're going to put on our lower lash line. And we're going to use MAC's Paint Pot and Black Mirror on our upper lash line afterwards, unless we use Contemplative State Paint Pot, because either we wanted to stand out with the black or kind of be like a little goth vibe with Contemplative State. And so we're going to put this here on our inner rims. This is the lower, of course. And this eye is twitching. And this is our upper inner rims. This is risky for me to do, not the eyeliner, but I have all day had an on again, off again migraine. And so I told myself I wasn't going to do a look today. Just to give my eyes a break. And it's not so much sitting here. Sometimes it is because of the lights and sometimes it's not. This was my hormonal week, so that plays a huge part of it. And sitting and editing at my computer for, like 3+ hours at a time, that kind of, well, not kind of, but that's one of the triggers too, is eye strain. But for the most part, this is just hormones this week. And it's not much I could do about that. I'm not on any type of hormonal treatment or anything like that. And I kind of don't want to, because our bodies are going to do what it do. And I know that it does help, though. So what it is for me is I know I can say the word estrogen withdrawal. That's what the OBGYN said. And I believe her. And, it's just things that female bodies do what they do. And so, and yet and still, we keep on functioning, even if I have to take breaks, or I did take another migraine med. So this migraine has been coming and going for about 2 days now, at least. I feel like I lost a day somewhere because one day I slept a lot. And so this is Strawberry Milk underneath, so it's kind of there, not there, just a little something. And I do like putting eyeliner under here as a base for whatever shadow I put, but I could easily just put more primer under here. But I do just like having color here also, because it's always interesting to me and exciting to me to see what the eyeshadow is going to look like over the color I have down here. Sometimes it brings out the color, sometimes the eyeshadow completely eats it, but it's always like, what is this going to do? That type of thing. So Fenty eyeshadow primer, of course. Hello again and welcome. My name is Dion, and I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. Why do I call it that, people ask me? The crazy is knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. How dare they? You know what I'm saying? The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. If you want to try all the things because you're curious of how it will look on you. Don't try it because you feel obligated, because that's what somebody's telling you on the video when they're like, you must use this brand, you must use this tool, you must use this technique. You don't have to. Just do what you want to do. Just wear it and rock it. I don't know about anywhere else, but here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never because we feel like we have to. And just use whatever you want, however you want, because you set the standard for yourself. I don't know if I said that part already, or I left it out where I usually say it. I've been doing this intro for years, and sometimes it still just comes out however it comes out. part of being human, right? Just roll with it. And that's what we do here. There's a piece of dry eyeshadow primer right there. Max Paint Pot and Groundwork, y'all. I have a backup on standby. Oh my gosh. I would have never thought that I would have panned a paint pot, but it makes sense because the paint pots, y'all hear me say this a lot, so thank you for bearing with me if you've been with me for years and you're like, girl, you done said this like 2,897.9 times. The paint pots are designed to be shadow bases, which is what we're using it for now. The fluid lines are designed to be eyeliners. I do use them both interchangeably, and they can be used interchangeably. They are a different consistency. The paint pots are a drier formula, whereas the fluid lines are creamier. But again, for me, they both do the same thing. So you can just use them both ways or what they're for. And because of that, that's why I didn't buy the black fluid line. And because I have Dip Down is a brown fluid line, that's why I did not get the brown paint pot, because I'm like, I have that color, and again, I use them interchangeably. So we're going to get into yeah, so these two are going to be over here, these two are here, so I'm gonna have to remember that. I meant to do one eye at a time like I did in the previous video. So holding it this way, these two are on this side, but these two are for this side, so I just have to remember to do the right thing here. Monochromatic-ish is what we're going to be doing. We are going to, let's just take this one first. We're going to take this first. Yeah, that's going to be on this side. I do just want to do one eye at a time. I really do. Because I don't want to confuse myself. But because I prime the eye, because my lids are hooded, they cover my crease area. If I don't put something in there soon, it will go ahead and crease. So we're going to try and speed through this one. So by the time I get to shadow over here, if it is creasing, it's because the base is creasing. Now we're going to take this shade right here. Thank you for, why I feel like something in my eye. Thank you for being here with me. Y'all, I am really enjoying this palette already, and this is definitely my color story. I forget how much it costs. I do have a 15% off code down below that you are more than welcome to use, and I would be appreciative if you do. It will take a while to get your stuff though, so just know that. And that's common among indie brands, or so I'm told. If they're having their own sale, now we're going to take this, we want to do that one. We're going to take this one. This has a fuzzy on it. This one, you see it has different colors in here, this shade right here. And so I'm curious, like, what is, and it looks green when I look at it in person. Up here where I'm looking now, it looks kind of blue. But I'm curious to see, excuse me, what this is going to look like. I forgot to tell you two things about me. One is I curse because I curse. Oh, this is rich. And the other one is this organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do try to be aware of it to say, excuse me. Because even for a troll, like, I think that's just bad behavior. We're going to, oh, this is sticking where I put it, which is awesome. So I'm going back and forth to try to blend. And it's blending a little bit. And you see that my skin is moving. So I call this area the puff. Like this whole area up here. Wow. Oh, that, yeah, that blended nice. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. So those are the two tidbits. This is my color story. This palette is a lot of fun. And the only mattes are these four right here. So our first look, if you saw it, we used these 6 on one eye, these 6 on the other. And they're matte in sight. And I don't have a problem doing an all matte look. I don't mind doing, I'm gonna take this shade. I don't mind doing it all. Oh, okay, a lot of that came up. I was a little aggressive, so I'm pressing it back in, into the pan. This is a lot of shadow. I'm tapping it over my trash can, my makeup trash, but nothing is tapping off. Yo, there is so much shadow on this brush. This looks purple when I look, okay. Looking at it right now, and it looks blue. When I look at it in person, it looks purple. And I think that may have been a question when I did the swatches. Like, what color is this? I do perceive color different sometimes than most people. And I do know that for sure. There's a funny story behind it that when I tell that story, someone commented, every time I hear you say this story, it makes me laugh. But I do for sure process colors differently than some people. So if somebody's like, oh, such and such a color, I'm like, okay, what color is this? Because my mind is telling me something other than what the other people are saying. And I do know that about myself, and so it's not a big deal. But like for our members shop my stash, when they're like, oh, use like a teal, and I'm just like, okay, which color in this palette is a teal? Because I really don't know. I really sincerely do not know. So in a way, it keeps things interesting, and I'm thankful for my official Trollkin, who are what I call my channel members, because they're understanding and they're patient. They're like, okay, we know she doesn't see color like we do, so you know, they're very patient. And they help me out, because if they're requesting a look, I want to use the colors they say. And so if they say a color story, I'll pull out palettes that I think has those colors in it, and then they'll say, okay, yeah, use this palette, use that palette, use this color, use that color. We're going to go over to the other eye. So this is the lid for this one. I'm going to pat this out. It looks okay though, so hopefully it really is, meaning hopefully it's not creased and I'm just not seeing it. So we're just going to pat out that paint pot. And we're using the same brushes. All of those we used were V27 from, my brain locked up, from Esom. And we're going to use all clean ones, but the same number for the other side. We are going to take, we're going to take this one. So we're just going light to dark for these eye look. Ooh, there was a shade yesterday I used, and I was just like, ooh, I forget which one it was. But I was like, I think it might have been this one. Oh, was that the one that was like a bold blue? And I was just like, I was stunned. I was just like, what? How does Janessa say it? What? And Nina be using it as a comment. What? I think it is so funny though. Yeah, but I was like, what? Like, oh. Then I don't want to take that green one yet. We're going to take this one. I don't remember, even I do swatch parties before I use palettes. I don't remember by the time I use the palette, like what it looked like. This is a very nice color. They're not there. Easy one and done. If y'all do one and dones, y'all know I don't do one and dones. But I keep thinking maybe I will for Vlogmas, like just to switch things up, to show y'all that I can do it. Of course, I'm gonna want to do more because we're using 6 shades on the lid today, and we can easily use 9 shades on a look. It is like not a big deal. Now we're going to take this one down here. It looks flaky, but it's not. I really like how the shades in this palette, did that come up? How the shades in this palette are densely packed, but at the same time, they're easy to use. And I like that they're densely packed, because my concern was like when I open this side, one of these shadows was going to be over there and vice versa. And sometimes their shadows are a little fragile, but none of these are. This one seems like it's not wanting to pick up, and it's getting that shiny part in the middle, this one right here. And that is usually, not always, but usually hard pan. And swiping it's looking like it's not picking up much. It is picking up some, but not as much as I would think. And so it is a there not there look, but it is there. So what I also did was I was going back. Oh, I picked up a chunk. Well, I created a chunk, but I was going back and forth to get that shadow up. Notoriously Morbid side of the brand, they do hand press their shadows. And they do say there may be imperfections. I don't consider them imperfections. It's just a unique hand pressed palette, even though it's the same color as another palette with that same palette. But because they hand pressed, they may look a little different. And so they call it an imperfection. I don't call it that because it's hand pressed, it's handmade. So, you know, it's not always going to be exactly the same as something else. I do want more color there, but we're good. We're going to take this shade. So we use 1, 2, 3, and these two did kind of blend in together. In person, I can see where this is a little more gray, this is more pink. Is that pinkish? this shade. In person, I can see a difference, but not much. Now we're going to take this green down here. I remember this being bold. And there's not a lot of tap off with these shades either. I think I want to bring that previous shade over further. That's what I think. And so we're bringing this out like we did in our look yesterday, because I really liked that shape. I really liked how pointed it was. And even the pink pot that I put on for upper lash line, it was like a really nice sharp line. We're going in straight. We're tapping in straight because I want to bring this here, and I want to use the tip of the brush to bring this out right here. That is nice. So we're going to go back to that previous shade and bring that to meet this green. That's nice. For the other look, I believe this one was that outer corner look, y'all. I was just like, oh my gosh, that was gorgeous. The previous shade, this one right here, and because of going back and forth, particularly around this edge, it is creating, it is causing the shadow to move upward. So you see it is working. So I don't want to say it's hard pan, because if it was hard pan, for me, it wouldn't pick up at all. But it is picking up. It's just taking me a little bit more work. This is a nice shade for if you do like a They're Not There kind of ethereal-ish type look. We're pulling that green over a little bit. And we're going to go back to that pink shade, and we're just going to just buff this up right here. So it's an easy look. So it's almost kind of like a weird kind of halo look. I see like a speck right here. Because we have the green in here and the green out here, and the sensor is looking bare even though it is two shadows there. So that shade, which shade was it? Yeah, it was this one, but I do have a little bit of fallout and it's not moving. I do have Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray on. We're going to leave it. This color, yesterday gave me some fallout and it was not wiping away, so we just put on like more the Hourglass finishing powder, and that took care of that. Excuse me. So what are we doing now? So we have our lid shades done. We are going to take an Esom E45. It is not Sigma E45. I always want to say Esom because it starts with the letter E, but this is a Sigma E45. And we're going to take this shade. Are we on the right side? Yeah, that was over here. Yeah, because these two columns over here. So we went into this one. And we're going to start by, oh, that's pretty. I started here because I wanted to see how much color it was going to be before I brought it up here. But I like it. That's nice. And I like the shape too, because it looks almost like a V coming up to the arch and then coming down. We're going to tap in very lightly. And we're going to just put a little bit over top of this blue purple shade. When I look here, I see purple. When I look down here in the mirror where I'm looking down, I see blue. Yeah. So it might be a blue purple or a blurple. Y'all, this is simple and it's pretty. So now onto this side, we have these two to use. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? I think this might be too bright, so I'm thinking this one, but then I still will have to go lightly because this is a dark shade. I'm tapping really lightly, and there's not a lot of tap off with these shades either. So we're going to start over here just to see what it looks like, and I did just go in lightly because this is a dark shade. And maybe I'll put this on half the lower lash line, tapping in straight, barely touching the shadow. And so, yeah, you can see it. All right, let's blend out. I'm going to side of the brush very lightly and do it this way instead of using the tip, because the tip gave it that straight edge that you see. And I want it to look blended up here. So that's why we're going like that. And then we're using the tip over here very lightly on the tip again, barely touching the shadow. And there we are. Y'all, this, I think I'm going to put this on the second half of the lower lash line. I like that though. Wow. I do very light looks, both of them, particularly this one, but I like it. This is more like a goth look. This is goth bordering grungy in my mind. There is some crossover, but sometimes depending on a person, it is distinct. So it just depends on like how you perceive goth or grunge to be. So we're going to leave that like it looks. We're going to take, we're over here, the side of the brush, because I'm not really liking how this looks. So we're using the side of the brush just to lay it, and then we're going to blend it. And so, I like it, I like it, I like it. Lower lash line, let me take out 4 of these. Am I going to do 2 colors on this side? I don't know. I'm going to just use 1 color on that side. This side, yeah. We're going to take this one, and we're going to put this on our lower lash line. That shade too gave me some fallout, that gray shade, because I'm seeing like some gray down here, but because of the tone of it, to me it's not that noticeable. And so this, oh, that's nice. It looks sick. And when whatever's on the tip of the brush, we're going to pull it over here. I like when I do a wing liner and I can see the shadow here and then the wing liner and then the shadow on top. We're going straight and very lightly, super lightly, because this is an intense shade too. And we're just going to do a straight line here, and we're going to bring it all the way out. So it's going to kind of meet where that gray is at the top. So very lightly, barely touching it. And we're going to bring this here. That's nice. Yeah, buddy. So we're going to bring that out. We're going to go back to the brush that had that gray on it, very lightly, barely touching, because we want to bring that down. And I could just use a thinner brush, right? Right. So that's nice. That's what I wanted. The other eye, we only didn't use these 2. Let's take this one first and put this underneath. Let's start over here. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. It's cool that it's blending in well with this outer corner shade. And we're going to do the same thing, even though it is blending in. We're going to pull this out here like we did that side. Okay, wow. There looks to be like a little patch right there. We're going to bring this in here. I do notice how sometimes when I make faces, my voice changes. And not that that's funny. I'm just looking at this like, girl. Tap right in again. And we're going to make this thicker just so it doesn't look like there was this bump right here. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. Yep. I imagine Michelle liking this because she loves a blown out lower lash line. And I do too. I don't do it often. But when I do, I drink those sakis. I'm going to take that first shadow brush, not adding more shadow to it, but we're going to just wiggle this here so that it's going to meet where that gray is. And it just doesn't look like the gray is not attached to anything. So we're just pressing this in just to connect those two. This side we're not going to be concerned about at all. Or do we want to? Yeah, so we're going to take the brush, not adding more shadow to it. And we're going to bring it in further to meet the green. I usually don't pay too much attention to my inner tear duct area or out here because on my eyes tear is going to wash all that away anyway. So we didn't use this one. We used these 6 on this eye and these 6 on this eye. So I remember saying when I did the swatch party, like usually I'm like, okay, these 4 can be a look, these 4. And I said, I really wasn't seeing looks with this one. And I think for Lady Shalott as well. But the way we used them though, like the looks were pretty. So if you want something more bold, more colorful, here you go. If you like more ethereal, there you go. So now we're going to do the liner on our upper lash line and we're going to do our mascara and figure out a lip. And then we're going to be done. So do I want to put Contemplative State over here, or you know what we're going to do? We're going to take Midnight Snack. This is a fluid line from MAC. and it is gray. We're going to put that over here. That it should show up well over here because it is a light colored look. And so, yeah, this is a MAC 210 brush. Oh yeah, this is showing up nice. Get in this inner corner, which I usually don't pay too much attention to because, again, if my eyes tear, it's going to wash it away. So this is this. It goes with the look well because it's toned down like how the lid shades are. And then we're going to bring this straight out and bring it back, number one. And we're going to angle that up. We're going to put a little bit more on here. Bring this further out. I am going to play with shapes tomorrow when I do the members requested look. Actually today, because it's after midnight, I'm going to do a different shape for the wing. I like that. Going back in, and I'm just taking a little bit off the sides because I don't know why this one is messy like that. Because I did it. I'm the only one that uses this. And we're just going to pull this out a little further. This brush is fraying the bristles. And so I'm swiping it to get the color on it, which also brings the bristles together. Because I do want a sharp line coming out to that corner. Yep, just like that. Just like that. And for the other eye, do we want to use a black? I seldom use black, but I've been using that lately. Or we're going to use Contemplative State. So we're going to put the black paint pot away. Yeah, we're going to put the black paint pot away. We're going to use Contemplative State because it's going to make it almost look like it's negative space. Because in a way it blends in to my complexion and in a way it doesn't. But when I use it for upper lash line liner, it gives the illusion of negative space, meaning it looks like there's nothing there because of my complexion. You see what I'm saying? And I do like that look. I do feel like I've been neglecting my lethal water activated liners, and it's been because some days my eyes are very teary, and because those are water activated, if I put them on and my eyes tear, it's going to just wash away. And so the last few looks, I have just been using the paint pots or the fluid lines. So you see how that looks. So you see the color under here, you see the liner, and then you see another color. So it's sort of like a triple wing thing. This one, you see the pink, you see the fluid line, and then you see this green. And up here, you see that gray line. So I do like how, I like that look. To say it plainly and succinctly. So those are the looks. We're going to do the Lancome Cils Booster XL Mascara Primer. Put this on lower lash line and upper lash line. I have some fallout under this eye because it's looking a little dark under here. And it was that shade I put on my lower lash line because of the way I applied it. When I pack shadows on my lid, I seldom get fallout unless it's a sparkly or flaky shade. And then when I get fallout, it's usually not anything major and I can just cover it up. If it's super not major, Tower 28 Drift, their brown mascara that Grace sent me. If it's like barely there noticeable to me, I'm just like, we'll just leave it because it blends in with whatever highlighter I have on my face that day. But yesterday it wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, I need to fix this. And so we just put on more of the Hourglass finishing powder because those powders have luminosity to it. And so it covered it up right nicely. It covered it up very nicely. And so that was a good thing. So for me, fixing fallout is not a big deal. And I know some people will say, you know, do your eyes first and face second. I am a face first person. And again, I never deal with so much fallout that it's a problem, you know. And I do know some people will you know, go in with makeup remover and like wipe the whole area down and then do their base makeup. But I've never had fallout that bad, like never. And so for me, it's not a big deal. But I have seen videos. My mascara touched down here. So what we're going to do, and we could do different things. We could use concealer. We could just use the setting powder I use on my face, or we could use the brush that I used to apply the shadow under there, which was this brush. And so we're just going to swipe this over. I'm going to say swipe this over where the mascara is. And if you touch mascara to your skin where you don't want it, or up here somewhere, just let it dry first and it'll flake off. Usually if I end up with mascara up here, wherever, because you see I have multiple colors on my lid, like say the mascara was here, I would just take that shadow, the brush, like I'm doing now, the brush that has this shadow on it, and I would just tap the brush over it or swipe the brush over it, and it covers up the mascara. So if you mess up with mascara, it is not a big deal. And where this one touched, it's in my wrinkle. So when I grin, you don't see it anyway. So if you do mess up doing a look, quote unquote mess up doing a look, don't panic. It is okay. This is Elevated from MAC. It's one of their stack mascaras. We're going to put this on our upper lashes. I do really like this mascara. I do like MAC's mascaras. And I also like the City Beauty Beyond mascara. I do like that Tower 28 one that I put on my lower lash line. And I like the Lethal Capacity mascara. That mascara is white in color. I thought about buying other colors, but the PAO is only 6 months. I've been using it more than 6 months, and it has not turned. It has not irritated my eyes or anything. But then I thought I can make a color mascara, and I'm going to do that in a video or a live stream and show you how you can make whatever color mascara that you want to make. Because I was very close to buying Denim from MAC, which is their blue one, and I said, you know what, I can make that color. And I haven't done it before. I know how to from looking it up, but I've never done it. So when I do it, we're going to do it together. And hopefully it'll turn out really nice. And I do think it will. I'm just hoping whatever I use, it won't irritate. 'Cause I'm thinking to use the water activated, but then if my eyes tear again, it's going to wipe away. But we're going to see. Maybe we'll do 2 different ways to see, you know, to do it and just see what the difference is. What are we going to do for lip? I'm thinking of dark brown. I could also use a gray. I can use anything. What are we going to use? Do I want to? So many choices. So many choices. I kind of want to. This is too light though for me. For these eye looks. Not for this one at all. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So we're going to put this on. This is Raven's Mirage. I do not have a shade description on it. This is also from Notoriously Morbid. I think this has pink in it. I don't know if you can see sparkles. Yeah, you see sparkles in there? Like that's not the light from the ring light. Like this right here is sparkles. And here you go. Those are the sparkles in the lipstick. So yeah, I am seeing pink in there. Pink to my eye, anyway. I do see pink on my lips, too. But it's not consistent. It's like little pieces here and there as if it shouldn't be there. I'm seeing pink spots on this side, but only like 1 or 2 like over here. Okay, so let's put it on the bottom. This is pretty though. I am a liquid lipstick person. Because I don't touch up my lip. I think you see what I see. The sparkles in the lip. For these eye looks, it's a little light for me. It's a little light for me. So then I'm like, what else can I do? Because it is a little light for me. I do have a gray. Somber. Matte metallic gunmetal. I don't know how it's matte and metallic. This is also from Notoriously Morbid. Yeah, I don't know how that's so, but they say that's what it is. And so we're just gonna go on top of it. And I just want to do the outside, like the outer corners. Still gray though. Like I don't. For those who don't know, my favorite lip color is black. I want to say I like it better. Now we're kind of going along our lip line. So the only place that we're not doing is like in here. I do like this a little better, but I'm wondering if I would do that lip again with this look. I do like this better. I do like it better. So this is the look that we have, y'all. Let me know what you think. I am excited about it. Let me move this mirror. Are we gonna do pictures now or later? We're gonna do pictures afterwards. So this is the look, y'all. Let me hold up the palette so you can see what went where. So for the Nightmare palette, these two again on this eye. And these two columns on this eye. I don't know where I was looking, but that's what we have, y'all. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think about these looks, and you will see me soon. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the crazy Troll Nation way. Stuff is popping up over here for you to watch. If you have time, hang out. And if not, come back. I always have content here, so you'll see me soon. Thanks.